God save the King! God save the King!
They're commanded by Captain Sophie Shaughnessy. She's a marine engineer who served with great distinction in the Royal Navy, Bosnia and the Gulf, amongst other places, and this is her last duty in uniform, commanding the Royal Navy at the Coronation.
And they're the band of the Royal Marines with their white pith helmets. And I think that royal blue on the decorative, the mains, obviously, the Windsor Greys, it looks so striking. And there have been various colours used of silver for the Silver Jubilee, gold for the Golden Jubilee, and the King picking royal blue. Passing the cenotaph, coming up towards the memorial for the women of World War II. And back on now we can see the full glory of this enormous procession. As we've said, the longest for 70 years.
It is, and as you said earlier, it's divided into distinct, 8 distinct groups. The Brigade Major leading from the front, and then we've got the Royal Air Force, closely followed by all regiments from the Royal Army. Then the Senior Army Corps and the infantry following them. Behind them are the Junior Army Corps, and hopefully we'll see all these different regiments and units closely in a minute. And then, as we've seen, the Royal Navy and the Royal Marines coming up the rear. And of course, that's a great honour for them, because the senior service, they are closest to the monarch. And behind them, the footlights and Household Cavalry dismounted. Regiments of the Foot Guards now making that turn, and they will have to funnel themselves through those 3 arches, so quite a feat, Gregor, of organisation. It certainly is, and it's going to get even more challenging when they come to the gates of the forecourt of Buckingham Palace. You see there behind the footlights, a number of different organisations, the Golden Wardens, the Royal Watchers, as you mentioned before, the King's Bodyguard,
up in Windsor, and James, Earl of Wessex. Louise is 19 now, she's studying English at St Andrews University, and she'll be particularly appreciative of the driving of the carriages. Carriage driving, a great love of hers. And in the final carriage, the Duke and Duchess of Gloucester and Vice Admiral Sir Timothy Lawrence. And the King and Queen Camilla have a chance now to really enjoy the crowds who have gathered and acknowledge them as much as possible. And having got through... the Canadian Mounted Police, now the Mounties, have a wonderful relationship with the Crown. They have over the years gifted many horses to the late Queen, and indeed are giving a horse to the king. But he will ride for the king's birthday parade, as it will be, Tooting Colour, in the future years. So the Mounties have a very
Mass bands of the household division.
I make a point earlier, Neville, about the importance of music to both the infantry and indeed cavalry, but that beat, the importance of keeping everybody on a beat.
It is, but also the idea that the music is a morale booster and makes everyone.
The Princess of Wales, looking absolutely beautiful. Prince of Wales, who is wearing underneath those robes, the uniform of the Welsh Guards, he is now there.
Is their colonel. And of course, the Princess of Wales is the colonel of the Irish Guards.
And both of them wearing formal robes and mantles. And certainly that gold looks to be gleaming ever more.
Representatives of the realms and dependent territories of from either side. Great honour for them.
I was listening to Sir David Attenborough yesterday evening talking about the importance of the Queen's coronation 70 years ago in terms of the history of television. And you look at all of the personal filming that's going on and think what this represents in terms of footage taken, individual footage taken. It must be covered by more cameras, if you see what I mean, official cameras and personal cameras than any event ever. On iPlayer, you can, if you wish, select uninterrupted commentary free. It's really, he's done so much.
The gardens, I'm sure the gardeners
The
of Buckingham
gardeners would
Palace
like
would be
it,
very
yeah.
happy if those horses appeared on their lawn.
No, they will be taken back to the news. And as the gold state boots. Garrison Sergeant Major Andrew Stokes giving the order now for them to remove headdress and call out for 3 cheers.
Remove! Headdress! Charlie! 3 cheers for His Majesty the King and Her Majesty the Queen! Hep hep! Hep hep! Hep hep! The parade will replace headdress! Replace! Headdress! Charlie! Move! Quick! March!
And the mass pipes and drums are now playing a tune called King Charles III. I think Andrew Stokes, known as Vern, can reflect on a job really well executed there. I've never heard 3 cheers resound so loudly in an open space.
I was the wrong person to ask the commentator on this.
By 2 ladies in attendance who helped her with her train and doubtless studied the nurse too this morning as she was getting ready. A wave to the crowd and the crowd waves back. Robert Hartman, I believe, as a very young prince, was it age just 2 that Charles made his first balcony appearance?
Yep, in 3. The Queen came out as a baby in arms, but there we are. This is the rest of the family joining them now. The working family. It's quite interesting. We're seeing there all those who still undertake engagements, regular engagements, and their children. But I mean, this is such an important moment because this is the first time he has led the family out as king. He's been on that balcony, as you say, Kirsty, since he was tiny. He can just about remember the coronation balcony moment, and ever since then he's been seeing these scenes. But you know, he's leading them today. He's the one they're here to see.
He does look relaxed. He's taking it all in, and it must be quite a scene to be on the receiving end of. And when you say working members, I mean, obviously we've got children there, we've got the pages today, some of them better known faces than others. Take people through the working members of the royal family.
The working members, they're the ones who appear each day in what we call the court circular. There we see the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh there, Prince and Princess of Wales there. Then the pages, the King's pages, the Queen and her pages there to her left. But this is sort of, in a way, recognising those whose day-to-day job is supporting the monarchy. They are, you know, the King's eldest son, Prince and Princess of Wales, and Princess Anne, of course, the Princess Royal, the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh. And also it's nice to see there the elder cousins, as the Duke and Duchess of Gloucester, Princess Alexandra, the Duke of Kent. They still play a part in this sort of broader royal frontline unit, if you like. You know, they may not make their headlines every day, but they're still there, they've got their patronages. And the King feels a great debt of gratitude to them. So on a day like today, he's saluting them. What we haven't got here is all the extended cousins and cousins of cousins and that sort of thing that we used to see at perhaps a birthday parade. I think underlying the messaging here is, you know, today's a day about the monarchy rather than about Queen herself.
From 2 very popular people, not in a wheelbarrow around the garden today, something altogether different. And here we see, John, the helicopters coming in. Yes. Through the clouds, through the rain, they've made it.
Exactly, they've battled through. So this is the first of 5 formations of helicopters we'll have ahead of the Red Arrows. And what you're seeing is a formation, the first ones were a formation of 3 Juno helicopters, so training helicopters from No. 1 Flying Training School. And interestingly, on the second of those helicopters was Squadron Rich Alexson, who was actually one of Prince William's flying instructors when he was going through this helicopter training. So there's a nice royal connection.
And also interesting that the helicopters can fly lower, so that's one of the reasons it's safe for them.
They can, and they have slightly different rules when it comes to cloud base and how close to the weather they can get because of their slower speed.
Right, and even though it's very rainy then, it's not too dangerous for them today?
It's within the safety limits. It's right on the edge, which is why unfortunately we couldn't get the other aircraft, but absolutely within limits for the helicopters and for the Red Arrows.
And so they're coming right overhead, right over the palace. Everybody looks up. And
so the top of the
sorry, go ahead.
So the top of the screen there was the army formation, so Wildcat and 2 of the AH-64s, so they're coming over now. So we've got formations initially from the Navy, then the Army, then the Royal Marines, and then finally the Royal Air Force.
And the King and the Prince of Wales both looking up there and understanding both as helicopter pilots. That's interesting.
It is.
They know what it takes.
Well, we've got the first monarch who could fly a helicopter. He was in his naval days, correct me if I'm wrong, but he was actually a very good Wessex helicopter pilot,
Yes.
the top of his class. So he knows what's going through their mind. And of course, the Prince of Wales, very many helicopters, so there's a lot of expertise up there. If they're flying the wrong way, I'm sure they won't just hear about it from their immediate bosses.
Now you see, everybody else is tilting their heads up, apart from the king and queen. But of course, they've got something to be mindful of. So it's just eyes up for them.
One occupational hazard of the head that wears the crown is you've got to look down, as the Queen used to say. You've got to read your speech looking straight ahead.
So they're making a fair sound. We can see the windows of the palace there, even having a little shudder as those helicopters went past. And one of the things that I certainly wondered today is, how would the crowds be? Would it be a huge crowd? And we have a very definite answer with that argument now.
Yeah, we do. I mean, the crowds aren't as big as they possibly could be because of the new sort of system they have for sealing off the processional area. You haven't got as many people in the immediate area, but here's the
yes, here's the big moment, here's the main event.
Absolutely. So the Red Arrows, because they are a professional display team, they can work to greater weather limits than the other aircraft who have unfortunately been unable to join us. So we do get a chance to see the iconic Red Arrows in their red, white and blue as they come down the mount, which just looks fantastic.
What a scene.
They're currently in their 59th season. They've got another 60 displays to do this year.
And where are these displays? Are they all over the world, or do they tend to be in the British Isles?
So the majority of the British Isles, but they do go all over the world.
And this is the moment. Well, that was a wonderful moment, an iconic moment, and it would have been a great shame if the weather had put stop to what really is a sort of seal on the day, I think, John. Don't you? That sort of visual spectacle of something that we come to know and be in awe of, and also be very fond of, that spectacle of the weather is.
Absolutely.
And forces giving a round of applause.
Go on, get back in there.